Okay, this video is in response to a request from Mpumelelo, all the way from Mondorongezi. Mpumelelo wants to know the definition of jazz as well as its origins. Okay? First of all, I would like to say in Zimbabwe, the most misused word is jazz. Because anybody who doesn't play Sungura, who doesn't play Mbira, anybody who doesn't play dance or anybody who plays something that is slow is usually labeled as a jazz musician. I usually have a problem with the youngsters who come to my studio and tell me I want to do a jazz song, and I ask them what type of jazz, because there are many types of jazz. One are bebop, one are swing, one Afro jazz, one township jazz, and they will tell you, you know what, I want the type of jazz that Oliver Mtukudzi used to play, like if you know the song Ziwe, and I always tell them Oliver Mtukudzi was not a jazz musician. And a lot of people are surprised. Oliver Mtukudzi was not a jazz musician. Yes, Oliver Mtukudzi, you heard me right. When I was on Oliver Mtukudzi was not a jazz musician. Oliver Mtukudzi, his music was simply Mbira based, just like Thomas Mafumo's music. The only difference is here I play Shansa acoustic guitar stereo, where Shansa Mbira stereo. And of course, and other elements as well. And of course, he had some songs that had some jazz fusion or some jazz elements here and there, but his music doesn't fit the description of jazz. Yeah, just like any type of music, there are some conflicting accounts as to the origins of jazz, but some of the differences are minor. And you know what it is, Kuti, always every time Pantanga a genre of music, the ones who are starting the genre are not even aware that there's something happening. So at times it takes somebody from somewhere else to come and tell them that you've created something new. And sometimes it even takes somebody from somewhere to give the music a name. This is exactly what happens with rock music. When the likes of Chuck Berry, Little Richard started playing rock music, they were not even aware that they've started something new. So it had to take a DJ called Alan Freed to come up with the name. Let's just call it rock and roll. In the way to rock, songs are now rock with me. I want to rock with you all night long. It's a vulgar word. So it just started in a city called New Orleans in America. What happened is during the slave period, slaves were banned from playing drums, from playing music, from congregating, simply because they used to use music as communication for revolts, for communication where they want to run away from their slave masters. So the first city to allow slaves to congregate and have fun was the city of New Orleans in the year 1817. And so they were allowed to meet on Sundays. So they would meet at a place called the Congo Square. And they will meet and play African music and dance, because they were all from Africa, but they were coming from different parts of Africa. So the language was lost and everything, but what they remained with was their music. So they would meet and play music and dance. There are some genres of music that were the precursors of jazz music. Music like work songs. Work songs are those songs that they used to sing when they were working. They used to have what are called Negro spirituals and so forth. So during that time, that's when blues music was born. And blues music is the parent genre where rock music came from. That's the parent genre where jazz music also came from. So as time went on, there were many different types of jazz, from swing, from bebop, from up to now we have what they call smooth jazz. And here in Africa, around the 1950s, we also had our own types of African jazz, inspired by Kwela, inspired by Mbira music as well, if it's Zimbabwean jazz. We had artists like the Cool Crooners here in Zimbabwe, and August Msarurwa. August Msarurwa is one person who every artist must know. He composed the song in 1947. The song was called Skokiano. And this song has got more than 50 versions around the world. Artists like Louis Armstrong, Hugh Masekela has got his own version. Jimmy Lulu has got his own version. It was even released in America. It is the most covered song from Zimbabwe. So jazz in Zimbabwe became big around the late 1940s into the 1950s. Throughout the years, we had very good and very interesting artists like pianist Chris Chabuka, people like the Kukruners in Blawayo, Philbert Maroa, Tango Kwasando with this township jazz. We have had a lot of different types of jazz artists, but still amenoti tozongorasika papi pauti tepesa tangoti chero munhu wese angoita music iri slow out onzi anoita jazz. Number one, jazz is known for using complex chords. It's like one 7 sharp 9, 7 flat 9, my 13th, my half diminished. That's one key element of jazz music. The normal scale that everybody knows is the major scale, which is used in all types of music. But jazz musicians usually love to play what are known as blue notes. That's when they flatten the third, flatten the fifth, flatten the seventh. I know that's a bit complicated, but what I'm trying to say is they use my scales that are very complicated, that are altered. Scales like improvisation is creating or composing something whilst you are performing. So the main structure of jazz pieces or jazz songs is like this. There's what they call the head, which is the main theme. For example, if we jazzify the song Ruwarangu tikaita iri jazz, pekuti nechirimo wakandivimbisa kuti chichichine ruwarangu ndiwe chete, that will be the head. So after the head, you carry on with the same chord progression, and then the guitar, saxophone, trumpet, or other instruments will do solos. And then after that, maybe you go back to the head again, and then the song ends. And there's one rule when it comes to the improvisation, Pama solos, and the rule is that you don't play the same solo twice, because it is believed that a solo is an extension of how you feel that day. If you are happy, it's reflected in your solo. If you are sad, it's reflected in your solo. So you are not allowed to play the same solo twice. So every time you do a solo, even on the same song, it has to be different from the day before. And of course you can maintain some key elements of the solo, but it has to be different. There is a group of songs which each and every jazz artist is expected to know. Let's do Take 5 in the key of G. Let's do Autumn Leaves in the key of C. Even to end the video, as usual, I'm going to end it with a jam session, but this time I'm going to repost a jam session that I did with my son. So enjoy.
The harmony of quality and professionalism.